Welcome to a real week in the life with the brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max, and this is actually going to be my first week using the iPhone 17 Pro Max since launch as well. So everything that you're going to be seeing in this video, we're actually going to be experiencing for the first time together. And as you can see, I got the brand new cosmic orange color, and I know it's very controversial, but personally, so far, I've been absolutely loving it. I actually think that this is the best color that Apple has ever made, and it's something you really have to hold in your hands to experience. Now, throughout this entire video, you're going to see tons of footage shot on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I shot everything in Apple Log 2 and I shot it using the Final Cut camera app, and no edits were made to the video. So this is exactly what they look like straight out of camera, converted directly from Final Cut Pro. So it's about 7:30 a.m. right now and the phone is at 100%. I'm filming this video on the selfie camera on the iPhone 17 Pro Max in the Final Cut camera app, using HEVC in log 2 with all the settings on automatic, which is kind of crazy to say that I'm filming on a selfie camera in log 2, but I'll try and film as much of this video as possible on the iPhone so you guys can get an idea of what the video quality coming out of this is like. Obviously log 2 is kind of like cheating because I can make it look like how I want, so I'll throw in some non-log footage in there for you guys as well, for those of you that don't want to color grade. But using the Final Cut camera app is dope because you can film in HEVC. You don't have to do Apple ProRAW, and you save a ton of space that way. But anyways, yeah, it's 7:31 a.m. now, and I'm headed to the gym. For longtime watchers of the channel, you guys know that I absolutely love basketball, and that's what I do every single Monday morning. I head over to my local LA Fitness, and whenever I'm testing a brand new phone, I like to put it through its paces immediately during this first workout. I listen to music throughout my entire workout on my AirPod Maxes. I also have my workout running in the background on my Apple Watch Ultra 2, and I like to test all of the different cameras on the phone to see how each individual lens does in this sort of lower light environment. Okay, so I was feeling pretty good after my workout. I had worked out for about an hour. It was now 8:51 a.m. I had woken up at around 6:30 a.m. and the phone was now at 91%, which honestly wasn't too bad. And it was also time for me to post my first Instagram post of Monday. Now, with my first post of the day out of the way, it was time for me to head back home. I chilled on my phone for a little bit before heading out, and honestly, that's because the iPhone 17 Pro Max has been incredibly addictive to use and to hold. So for those of you that don't know, the iPhone 16 Pro Max was using titanium, and this year Apple has switched over to aluminum. Now, this is technically a weaker material, but the way that the light reflects off of this color and the way that it is to hold has been really, really nice. Now, I've seen a bunch of people already dent their phone, so the phone is definitely fragile, and I am using it without a case, but honestly, that's a trade-off that I'm willing to take just because of how good this phone feels in the hand whenever I'm using it. Alright, y'all, welcome to the lab. Let's have a quick chat because it's going to be a really busy day. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in here editing a bunch of videos. I have a video that needs to go out at noon for Polar Pro, which is a paid sponsorship. I have to finish editing a day in the life with the DJI Nano. So this is DJI's latest vlogging camera. This drops tomorrow, so September 23rd. So obviously by the time this vlog is out, this camera will be public. At the time of filming, it's not, but that doesn't matter. So I gotta edit that whole video today. And then I also have another video for a video editing app that's still under NDA that I can't talk about when the revisions are due tomorrow. That I'm going to be editing off of my 16 Pro Max because the beta firmware for the app or whatever was downloaded on this phone initially before I got my 17 Pro Max. So the 16 Pro Max is actually going to be getting a lot of use today just for like screen recordings and things like that. But yeah, right now it is 10:27 a.m. and the 17 Pro Max is at 80%. So that's not that bad. Hopefully you can see that. I love this wallpaper, by the way, the cosmic orange one. I don't know if it's only on the cosmic orange color, but as long as you don't have it on low battery mode and you click the lock and unlock button, it does that really cool animation, which is dope. So far, I'm really impressed with the Face ID on this. I think it's way faster than the 16 Pro Max. I don't know if my 16 Pro Max just got dinged up over the last year, but this I feel like works at a lot of different angles and unlocks immediately, which is really dope. Okay, now let's get to editing. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in here, and I also gotta find some time in between to shower and eat. I always forget to eat during the workday when I'm super busy, so I'll try and make time for that. Yeah, it's 10:30 a.m. and I'm also not doing too bad on my rings. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. I might be getting the Ultra 3 this week. Depends. I gotta chat with Apple about that, but stay tuned. If it does happen, you'll see it in this vlog. So at around noon, it was time for me to post my second Instagram post of the day. This one was for Polar Pro and was a paid sponsorship. And for those of you guys that follow me over on Instagram, you'll probably notice that I've started posting a lot more, and that's been intentional. I've just had a lot more things to post lately. Now, real quick, I want to give a shout out to the new screenshot feature on iOS 26. You're actually able to take a screenshot, send it to whoever you want with edits, and then delete it afterwards right from the screenshot screen, so you don't actually have to save it onto your phone, which is something that's just absolutely genius and I've been waiting for my entire life. Now, my long day of editing was momentarily interrupted by a Pokemon Center drop. I have been waiting this week for that new Charizard Phantasmal Flames UPC. Now, unfortunately, it didn't drop, and it caused me to wait and watch a bunch of different videos on my phone, which definitely cost me some battery. But once that was done, it was time for me to head over for lunch, and I had some leftovers, and I've been watching League of Legends videos a lot lately. Faker is the GOAT. If you know, you know. But these are the type of videos that I usually watch whenever I'm eating lunch, and I do scroll on my phone while watching YouTube, which I feel like a lot of people do. And yeah, that does definitely put a strain on my battery. But luckily, today I didn't have to cook, and so lunch was shorter than usual because I was able to eat a bunch of leftovers, and now it was time for Instagram post number 3. Now, with day one wrapping up, I honestly didn't get to spend that much time on my phone. I was super busy editing a top super secret project, which you're seeing me set up right now, which will hopefully be out by the time this vlog is out or a couple days right after. But literally, this took me the entire evening. I spent the whole evening just editing, and luckily my wife had made dinner. Otherwise, I feel like I would have skipped that today as well. But for those of you watching, don't worry. Tomorrow we're going to be taking a lot more photos and videos with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. All right, so I kind of am saying this, but I actually just finished editing that project. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. It's now 11:27 p.m. and the phone is at 20%. So yeah, phone made it through day one. 20% is not bad considering I've been up since like 6:30, like 7 a.m. So that's honestly pretty good. So not bad for day one. Hopefully we get to go outside a little bit tomorrow and use the phone a little bit, but I'll see y'all tomorrow. Welcome to Tuesday. Now today we're going to absolutely run the iPhone 17 Pro Max through its paces when it comes to photos and videos. So if you were disappointed about not seeing enough examples yesterday, don't worry, because today we're absolutely going to go off. Also, today was the launch of the DJI Nano, and I've been working for the release video for this camera for a few weeks now. So it's always really exciting and rewarding to see your work come to life and actually make it to the public when a new camera comes out. And honestly, the DJI Nano has been one of the most unique cameras that I've ever used, and so if you haven't seen the last vlog around that camera, I highly recommend you go watch it, because it might actually convince you to purchase it and start using it for your daily vlogs. Alright, so you're probably wondering why I have this VinFast with me right now. Well, if you saw the last vlog with the week in the life with the Pixel 10 Pro XL, I had an Audi A5. I was doing a campaign for Audi then. Now I'm doing a campaign for VinFast. This is the VF9. This is like their 7-seater like EV van. So VinFast is a company from Vietnam. They only make EVs as far as I know. This car has been pretty dope. It's a massive car, so it's a lot of fun to drive. I do like big cars. I can put a lot of things in here. But yeah, I'm shooting a social campaign for them. The video is almost pretty much done. I was actually filming it last week. I have another video that I owe them. I haven't received any feedback on the concept yet, so I'll probably have to chill on that for a little bit. Today I'm getting one of the walls in the house painted, so I'm gonna be home for most of the day, and mostly gonna be doing admin work today because yeah, yesterday was rough. I think I worked like 12 hours or something crazy like that, just editing. So I definitely need a break today. I still have a lot of stuff to get through. It is Techtember or Techtober coming up, so it's busy season if you're in tech. But yeah, you know, these are the days we were dreaming of when we were coming up, so can't be complaining. But yeah, right now I'm headed to Tim Hortons. Okay, so this is the wall that we're getting painted today, and this is my massive mess from filming yesterday, and the painter gets here at 10, so I've got about 45 minutes to clean all of this up. Now, once we were done cleaning up the living room and moving most of the stuff out of the way for the painter, I did discover a little surprise that Theo had left for us on the staircase, and this is very much unlike him. So I decided to take the VinFast out and go pick up some more litter and just swap everything out just to be on the safe side. This is not something that he's ever done. We've had him for like 5 years now, so literally since he was born, and this might be like the second time in 5 years that I've seen something like this. Now, this did give me an excuse to get out of the house a little bit, and this gave me an opportunity to test out the camera a bit more, which hopefully you guys have been enjoying on this Tuesday, as well as the Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay is not something that I really have because I drive a Tesla, so whenever I get to borrow a car like this VinFast, it's always great to see how Apple CarPlay operates. Now, I will say the Apple CarPlay on this car was a little bit slow, but I don't think this was the iPhone's fault. I think this was more so the UI and the UX with the VinFast. I did notice it was a little bit slow in general. Okay, yeah, so today I was way too busy to cook lunch. It was not happening, so I'm back in the line at Tim Hortons. I'm just gonna grab a wrap or something and another coffee just to keep myself going for the rest of the day until dinner. It's right now 2:46 p.m. and the phone is down to 55%. Taking a lot more videos and photos with the phone today. This is that same turn that you saw earlier in the vlog. Let me just activate the cameras on this car so I don't hit anything. And I need to reverse again so I can do a 3-point turn. Okay. Alright, cool. Then I just need to pay with my phone. But yeah, it's 2:47 p.m. Phone's at 55%. Not too bad. Now, after Tim Hortons, once I came back home, the wall was already fully painted, and honestly, I was really happy with the results. This is exactly what we had in our mood board and Pinterest, and when we were researching what color we wanted for the wall. I think it really goes well with our new furniture, and I think it'll really fit the aesthetic and the mood and the vibe of the room that we're going for. Personally, this was also Sherwin-Williams's color of the year, and so we really liked it. And yes, I did put this TV back up all on my own. And with that, it was time for me to post on Instagram again. Now, once I was done posting, I really wanted to go ahead and put the 17 Pro Max, do the same photo test that I did with the Pixel 10 Pro XL. So if you saw a week in the life with that phone, this test will be very familiar to you, but this is my walk to my local Longos. And here I got the opportunity to put the camera through its paces. I tested out all of the different lenses, and I got to see how the perspective changes when I'm taking a photo from the exact same spot. And I'm happy to report the photo quality in this camera is consistent throughout. All three of the cameras at 48 megapixels look absolutely phenomenal now. So I posted a story on my Instagram asking you guys if you had any questions about the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and somebody asked, is there a difference from last year's model in low light scenarios with all three of the lenses? So I'm actually here at this gas station
that is closed right now, and I brought the VinFast with me. And we're gonna take some low light shots with both the iPhone 17 Pro Max as well as the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I have in the car.
Now, in terms of image quality, I couldn't really see a difference here other than how these cameras handle the temperature for a specific scene. So the 17 Pro Max is a lot more cooler in this scenario, whereas the 16 Pro Max was a lot warmer. I do think the cool handling is a lot more accurate. And also the longest lens is an 8x on the 17 Pro Max, whereas the 16 Pro Max is a 5x. So I just used the 4x, so the comparison would be a lot more even. But overall, in terms of image quality, I would say they're pretty similar.
So we got a couple of good examples between the 16 Pro Max and the 17 Pro Max, and honestly, in my opinion, I don't really see that much of a difference. Maybe in the 4X versus the 5X, because one of them is a 48 megapixel and the other one is not. But other than that, I don't really see a difference between the two phones. And right now it's 10:54 and the phone is literally at 1%, like it's literally about to die. So yeah, that's it for today. We tapped out at 10:54 p.m. And literally as I just got in my car, the phone completely died out. So it's not turning on at all. If I hold the button, power button, yeah, there you go. It's telling me to charge. So yeah, 17 Pro Max completely dead at 10:57 p.m.
Alright, so welcome to Wednesday. I'm kind of tired right now. I stayed up later than I should have editing those photos from last night, but I just wanted to see how they would turn out so I could post a carousel today if they look good. And I think they look pretty good, so I'll have the carousel up later today. But yeah, yesterday was honestly the first time ever that I had a phone die on me during one of these day in the life or week in the life videos. I've never had any other phone die on me, but to be fair, I was pushing the 17 Pro Max extremely hard yesterday. I was filming a lot of Apple Log 2 video, taking a lot of raw photos, never entered battery saving mode, and my screen was at 100% the whole time. And I woke up at like 6:30 a.m. and went to bed at like, or well, the phone died at like 11 p.m. So if I'm doing quick math, that's like, I don't know, 17 hours. So that's honestly not bad. That's probably longer than anyone else would run their phone, especially at such a high capacity. So overall, really impressed with the battery on the 17 Pro Max so far. Today we've got a really packed day. I'm heading to the gym right now. I've got a meeting with Apple later today. I also have to return this car today. We've got some more videos to make, and then we're also invited to an advanced press screening of a movie. Something about that things keep happening. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, we've got that tonight, so I'm excited for that. We'll get to relax and have some fun in a busy week, so that's pretty dope, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Now, in my personal experience, I've loved using the iPhone 17 Pro Max's ultra wide camera and then zooming into the 8x camera just to see how much zoom I can really get from my current perspective, and honestly the results have been really good. I'm really impressed. Then I did go to the gym, and a lot of these videos are filmed with that DJI Osmo Nano that you guys saw earlier in the video. It's a super discreet camera, and I can use it to film in places that I generally might feel uncomfortable doing so. Here you'll see just how small the camera is and just how much the iPhone 17 Pro Max can zoom in from that 0.5x perspective all the way into that 8x perspective. Now also, let's quickly chat about the overheating issues in the iPhone 16 Pro Max that I had all the time. The phone would get really hot, and throughout my couple of days of using the iPhone 17 Pro Max, even though I've been using it extremely heavily with Final Cut camera and using log video and raw photos the entire time, I've never felt the phone get hot even once, which has been really refreshing to see. It shows that that vapor cooling chamber in the 17 Pro Max is working really well, and Apple has really thought out the design of this phone using aluminum to dissipate heat better, and also having that vapor cooling chamber inside to make sure that the phone doesn't overheat. Now, regular tasks using the new A19 Pro Chip have been really smooth. I've been posting videos on social media throughout this video, as you've seen. I've been using my phone for a bunch of different things. The only place where I've really seen the chip struggle is with the Final Cut camera app. Randomly, the app will freeze and it'll be unresponsive, and I have to quit to try and restart the app to make the cameras work. But other than that, the operation has been really smooth.
So another one of you guys asked me on my Instagram stories what the Apple ProRAW video is like on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So let me show you. Okay, so now we're filming in ProRes RAW in OpenGate, 24 frames per second, Apple Log 2. So this is what it looks like. This is the maximum quality output that you can get out of the 17 Pro Max. And I'm actually gonna film some videos that I need for the car in this format right now.
Now, I'll be the first person to admit I was not really impressed with these Apple ProRAW videos, but that has nothing to do with the camera. Overall, the dynamic range and the sharpness and everything looked really great. It's just that the weather conditions were not the best. And also, I didn't know that the stabilization turns off whenever you activate Apple ProRAW, and I didn't have a gimbal handy with me. So a lot of these were done handheld, and then I had to stabilize in post. Now, given that the stabilization turned out to be pretty well in post, I do think Final Cut Pro is really calibrated well for Apple ProRAW, and it will solve your stabilization issues. However, if you want a much better example of Apple ProRAW, just forward all the way to Friday. Those video results are absolutely mind-blowing, and I was really impressed with how Apple ProRAW performed there. In fact, I actually even posted on my Instagram feed the results of those videos. Now, once I was done testing out the Apple ProRAW video with the VinFast, I did actually have to return it to the dealership. This was my last day with it, and then I took an Uber home. Now, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I keep my phone in between my legs all the time when I'm in a car. I don't know if that's normal or if that's safe, but somebody let me know in the comments below. But because I was stuck in an Uber, I basically just scrolled a bunch on my phone, replied to some text messages, and took some calls. And by the time I got home, I was absolutely just smashed. I was really tired, so I decided to take a quick nap right before the movie.
Set an alarm for 5 p.m.
I turned on your 5 p.m. alarm.
Okay, so it's 5:20. I definitely overslept. It's about an hour, 20-minute drive to Toronto right now. The movie premiere is at 7 p.m. Yeah, and I think it's free seating, so yeah, good luck to us. Now, I've been partnering a lot recently with Warner Brothers Canada. Specifically, they've been inviting me out to a lot of movie screenings before they actually release to the public, which has been really cool. I've gotten to watch a ton of new movies for free. I think F1 was definitely my favorite, and I get to watch them early and kind of give my opinion, which is sort of cool. And it's been a really nice perk to have as a content creator. Usually I'm working pretty hard and working to make videos for clients, so it's nice to just go to a movie, sit down and watch, especially since I really love film. Now, I am obligated to post a story on social media. Well, not obligated. I like to do it as a favor to the brand for inviting me out. So I did definitely do that, and I took the opportunity to test out some of the Apple Intelligence features, which I do use pretty often now on my iPhones, and it did work pretty well on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I used the cleanup feature a lot. It did remove what I was looking for. It did take a couple of tries, and it was running a little bit slower than usual, and I'm not sure if that's because I was running a screen recording at the same time, but it did end up doing the job, which was nice to see. I'm also not allowed to record any of the movie while I'm there. They're super strict about that, and it's not something that I would do anyways. I'm there to watch and enjoy the movie, but it was really late once the movie was done. So to end the night, we just got some pizza, went home, and called it a day. Now, Thursday was an absolute wash. I woke up late at 9:30 a.m. and I was really tired. I didn't feel like doing anything, and I just took the day really slow. And we definitely all have those days where we need to recharge, and filming every single day for these week in the life projects gets super tiring. But if you do decide to watch this quick Thursday segment, let me give you a tip. I was transferring a lot of footage from my iPhone and my other cameras that I've been filming throughout the past days, and a quick little trick: if you're airdropping stuff from your phone to your computer and you connect it via a cable, you will see that using wired connection notification at the top when using airdrop, and all of your footage and your massive files, so I was filming everything in Apple Log 2, will literally transfer 10 times faster. I'm not even kidding. The amount of time that I've saved using this little trick has been really convenient. So if you're someone who airdrops a lot of files from your phone to your computer, or even from another iPhone, I believe it works. I haven't tried it out personally, but if you do have two iPhones, definitely grab a cable and try airdropping. Everything is significantly faster. But yeah, enough with this. Let's just move on to Friday.
Okay, so I definitely wasn't satisfied with the Apple ProRAW videos that we got yesterday, so I came out to the pier right before the gym to get some better examples. So hopefully these show off the capabilities of Apple ProRAW a little bit better because the weather is a lot nicer today.
All right, now this is what I was talking about when I wanted to see Apple ProRAW and what I was really excited for. So here you're gonna see a bunch of different examples of me taking a video on the iPhone's regular video mode. So these were not taken in Final Cut Camera. I literally just opened up the regular camera app, put the camera on the 1x lens, made sure that I had all my settings set up appropriately, which is HEVC, 4K, 24 frames per second in a -0.7 EV exposure, just because I feel like iPhone's a little bit overexposed. And if you do want my camera settings, I do have a video on the iPhone 17 Pro Max's best camera settings for photo. A one on video is coming out, so definitely check that out. But I was absolutely blown away by Apple ProRAW, especially in Apple Log 2. And I love the fact that we have Open Gate here. And I put the exposure value at the bottom for what I was using, but honestly, it doesn't matter because when you shoot in RAW, you can actually come back and you can change the editor and the exposure value afterwards. And this is what I expected to see. I'm honestly blown away by Apple ProRAW. Unfortunately, the file sizes are gigantic. A 15-second video is like 15 gigabytes. It's literally a gig a second, which is absolutely wild, but I personally think that the results are worth it. And as I've been doing throughout this video, anytime I see a subject and an opportunity to test out all of the lenses, I do that. So I saw this guy paddle boarding at the pier, so I decided to test it out and see the camera's capability of reaching him in the 0.5x, 2x, 4x, and 8x lenses. These were filmed in the Final Cut Camera app using Apple Log 2, and this is just the straight Final Cut Pro conversion. All right, with that, let's talk about my final thoughts on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, personally, this might be my favorite iPhone ever, and I hate to sound like the Apple announcement that happens every single year that this is the best iPhone that we've ever made. But I mean, technically every year, whatever iPhone they come out with will be the best iPhone that they've ever made. But for me personally, even though this is thicker than last year, this is the best feeling iPhone in my hands that I've ever used. And for me as a filmmaker, the camera quality is a massive determinant of how much I like a phone. And just as I expected, Apple is still years and years ahead of every other phone manufacturer when it comes to the video department. The fact that we have Apple ProRAW this year, Apple Log 2, the fact that you can film Apple Log 2 in the HEVC format, Apple is really thinking about their cameras and how they can set themselves apart from the competition. Honestly, I feel like Apple's video doesn't even compare to other smartphones. They're in a league of their own, and they're actually starting to now compete with professional mirrorless cameras, which is just incredible to see.
Now, one thing we haven't talked about in this vlog is the new center stage selfie camera, and that's because honestly, it's not something that's really for me, and I'm not going to be using it. But the cool thing that I do like about the new selfie camera is that square sensor and the fact that you can take a landscape video while holding it vertically. And I think that's pretty dope, and it's something that I haven't really shown, even though I've been doing it throughout this entire vlog. All the videos that I've taken in the landscape selfie mode have all been with me holding my phone vertically, and you can do this in the Final Cut Camera app as well, and film it in HEVC Log 2. And I think it's pretty cool that you can do this now, and I really like holding my phone vertically while filming horizontally.
One thing that I was really surprised about was the phone's battery life. I've never had a phone drain so low during one of these videos and these vlogs that I make, so that was definitely surprising. But as I'm doing this voiceover right now, it's 3:10 on a Saturday. I'm hoping to have this posted tomorrow, which will be Sunday, and the phone's battery is at 94%. Now granted, I did sleep in and I woke up a little bit later than usual. I woke up around 10:30 a.m., but the phone has only gone down 6%, and I would say that that's because I'm not scrolling like crazy and using it and testing it and not using Final Cut Camera every single 2 seconds and taking raw photos. All of that stuff takes a massive toll on the battery. One of my friends, Shomes, who's also a YouTube and tech video reviewer, he was actually able to make his battery last for 2 straight days. So it's really obvious that the battery life has received a significant upgrade. It's just that whenever I use it for these kind of videos, I'm pushing it way heavier than I would during a regular day. So do you need to upgrade from your current iPhone? Well, I'll leave that up to you. If you want the improved cameras and the improved battery life
and the improved heat and cooling management, I would say definitely go for it. This is one of my favorite iPhones again that I've ever used, and I know the cosmic orange is super polarizing, but I personally love the color, and if you don't like it, there are definitely other options and cases that you can go with it. But that's my overall review and experience and a real week in the life with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. That's it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next one, and until then, keep creating.